Hi there guys, I'm James. Welcome to my channel, Mountain Fencing Home and Gardens. It's another glorious day in the UK today, but in this video I'm going to show you how to correctly install a concrete fence post. I've also made another video on how to correctly install a wooden fence post, which is a slightly different method. I'll put a link just up here somewhere that you can go and have a look at, and that will tell you how to correctly install a wooden fence post that will last and will prevent rot. So today we're installing concrete fence posts with prefabricated panels and a 6-inch concrete gravel board. Now this is a really strong type of fencing and one of the easiest fencing styles to install, especially if you're doing it by yourself. Okay, so the first key thing when installing a concrete fence post is making sure you're digging the fence post hole in the correct place. Now we've got our string line in, which is going to make sure that all our posts are perfectly in line. And then what you need to do is measure the distance for the next post along from your starting point or first post that you've put in. Now the panels are 183 centimeters wide, but you need to count the thickness of the post as well. So each hole that you're going to be digging is on 186 centimeter centers.
Before you start digging any holes though, it's important to be sure that there aren't any electrical cables or pipes in the vicinity. But if you are going to be digging lots of holes, it's going to be beneficial for you to get a few simple digging tools like this graft, which is great for breaking up soil, or a post hole digger, which is great for digging deep, narrow holes. Also a digging bar, which is great for breaking up the soil and also getting through roots, which is what I have to get through at the moment because I'm right next to this tree. These are all fiberglass handled tools, so if you do hit an electrical cable, it's not going to electrocute you, so they're very safe. I'll leave a link in the description box below for you to go to if you want to have a look at them yourself. When digging a hole, you want to be digging the hole wider at the bottom than you do at the top, so when you fill it up with concrete, it's going to have most of the concrete weight right at the bottom, which is going to anchor the post into place. Work from the outside in, as you can see I'm doing here, as this will prevent you from digging the hole wider at the top and narrower at the bottom.
So whatever height fence you're installing, whether that be a 6-foot high fence or 4-foot high fence, depending on ground conditions, you should always have the hole at least 30 centimeters wide and at least 2 foot deep. What you're aiming for when you're digging the width of the hole is to have at least 2 inches of concrete around the perimeter of the post, which is going to prevent cracking the concrete.
Offer the fence post up to the line, leaving around 1 millimeter from the line, and then level on both axes. By now you should already have the previous panel and gravel board into place, so you can just prop the fence post up against this, but if not, just prop the fence post up with bars or pieces of timber to just hold it in position for the time being. Once you've got the post perfectly level, we're ready to concrete it in. Fill the hole 1/3 with water. We're going to be using post mix, which is a ready mix fast setting concrete. 1.5 bags to 2 bags per post.
You want to try and evenly distribute the concrete around all sides. and then you want to just top up with a little bit more water at the end so you haven't got any dry powder showing. And then it's a good idea to just mix everything up with a bar. That'll just ensure that all the water has gotten to the bottom of the post hole and you're not going to be left with any dry powder in the concrete. Once you've put your post mix in the hole, it's good practice to just check the levels again on the post, make sure it's still level, which it is. And then you just want to leave the props in place for around 10-15 minutes, just until the mix goes off enough, and then you can take those away. So once the concrete is all completely set, you can then backfill with the soil that's left over that you've dug out of the hole. And this step is almost as important as the concrete itself. Ideally, you'd have the post hole completely full of concrete, depending on the width of the hole that you've dug and everything. But if you haven't filled it right up to the top, or if you've got grass that you want to grow around the bottom of the post, you need to backfill with soil, and you really need to make sure that this is compacted in around the bottom of the post, and that will just give it a lot more support than if you didn't. Just heel it in with your foot, and then you can also use something just to really get it compact around the outside of that post. Thank you guys for watching. If this video has helped you at all, please give it a like and subscribe on the link below, and I'll see you next time.